I was just walking over there and then I heard these birds. I was like, these sounds like baby birds. And then I stood at this tree and I was like, I don't see any nest, but they're in the tree. I will show you guys. They're up in there, in that hole. Hello my magical light beings, and welcome all to this video today. My name is Shalita. Welcome to this channel. This channel is all about magical consciousness, and in this video we are, as you can tell, outside in nature. I'm right now in the forest. It's a day of sun after a lot of rain. There are a lot of I don't know if you can see it, like a lot of mud is around the place here, but I was like, I am excited to go on a walk today, share a story that I yesterday came to, and I'm excited to bring you all along on my walk and show some beautiful shots of the forest. As you could probably see by the title of this video, it is going to be about perspectives, about that we are the one to hold a perspective, that we are the ones to decide how we want to see the world. To share a little backstory to this, as a few years ago I woke up out of my dark night of the soul, this period of that your soul actually does not remember anything, totally in darkness, feels like everything is dark, and then you have this moment that, you know, in the dark night of the soul you can wake up out of this, the realization that you are the light that shines, you know, that even if everything is dark and you're like, there's no sense of hope, of light, of love, maybe it's you, you know. And that's what I came to, and that took a lot of, you know, to come to that moment of actually realizing that I was the light that was meant to shine in that place. Was not the easiest thing to come to, of course. It was a moment where I almost wanted to give up on life, and then these last couple months have actually been pretty kind of the same energies, very dark, very dense. Maybe you have experienced this too in the last couple months, that the energies were really intense. But then I was sitting with myself and I thought, it's probably to not forget and to not kind of fall again in this cycle of, I hear dull, of a life that is just, you know, the easy road, but actually a road of suffering and of dense energies, emotions, of limiting stories that you use to go about your day, instead of going about your day in a conscious way and to see things through the eyes of love instead of fear. As the last couple months, a lot of fear has been brought to the surface for me, really brought to my awareness, as I saw that I was doing so much, some would say shadow work, but a lot of dark purification that I was still holding on to. And that is of course kind of a never-ending cycle of letting go, but then I saw that I experienced this, and maybe you're experiencing this too, to realize that we are the one to decide. We are the one to decide if we are being put into a state of being that we actually don't like. It's a test to see if we actually can make the decision, our free will, to shift and to actually decide, I don't want to say more or better, but something that makes us more happy, something that makes us feel more alive, as I felt not the most alive in the last couple months. And yesterday I came to a very abrupt energy in my life. I had to make some decisions to cut away everything that in this moment, you know, it's not always forever, but in this moment was not beneficial for me, helping me out. And maybe you know this tarot card, it's the 10 of Swords. That's kind of how I felt yesterday. It was this ending, this major ending that felt like you were laying on the ground, you were bleeding, and I was crying so much because of certain happenings, and that whole situation made me realize that we can or suffer or we can decide a new perspective. As my guides, my angels, were really bringing me back to the moment that I had my switch in perspective in my dark night of the soul. The moment where I went from I hate this life sucks, I want to die, to I am alive, I'm lucky. And that's what they brought me to make me aware of this again, that if we are not happy where we are right now, then we can change, we can shift, we can decide something else, you know, and we deserve something else. And then it's really important to know our worth. If we stay stuck in a situation, why are we staying there? Are we actually not realizing that we deserve way more if we not feel the most happy, or we feel limited? And it all starts within us, you know. All these things on the outside are not limiting us, are not stopping us. We are the ones stopping us. We are the one to stay in a certain way because we think we have to be this way, for example, or we think there's no other option, but there always is another option. And that's what I came to yesterday, and it was really an intense moment. It really felt as if my heart was being ripped open and all this pain had to come out, that I still was holding on to the suffering that I actually caused within myself and around me, and that I saw that I deserved more. A lot of the times they say once awakened you will never fall asleep again, but we hold the key to an awakened life, and we have to take conscious action towards actually broadening our mind, broadening our awareness, you know, to expand. It's up to us. I am right now on this major field in the full sun. It's pretty warm actually today, so it's so cool, but we are still wearing this coat. Look at this. It's for me, always, 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 love. What would love do? And deep down we know this. Deep down we know it, because love is us and love is knowing. It knows. And I hear a spirit animal, but I did not saw it. This planet, love is made so difficult, but love is actually the most simplest thing. It's the most clearest thing. But it's not the easiest because of this planet. The road that takes effort, that takes courage. And courage is a kind of push energy, because it is that stepping over the illusion. And to do that you have to raise your feet, to actually step over it and to pull yourself up. And to pull yourself up takes strength. And a lot of the times we can confuse difficulty and strengths, but you will know that complexity is more confusing, and love is not confusing at all. It's so clear what I said, so clear, but it does not mean it does not take any effort, or that it's just easy going. No, sometimes you have to make decisions out of love that feel so difficult, but if you think about it, the decision is not difficult. It's the strength that you have to pick up to make this decision that can get us confused. That's what I saw for myself. And you know, to come to the story of the perspectives. The moment I realized that when I was in total darkness, I want to give up life, that I saw that, you know, I saw life as a burden, as a difficult place. This place was, I actually hated this place because it was there was so much going on, so much opposite energy, so much, you know, you have war and you have this and you have all these things that made me really not want to be here. But it is what we focus on, you know, the perspective, what we focus on, that will grow, that will become bigger. And if we focus upon all that is wrong and all that is not nice and dark, you know, if we focus upon the darkness will grow. And sometimes it's good to focus upon that for a moment, to really reflect and see where we are holding darkness ourselves. But it's not something we actually want to grow. And I'm out of breath. I was walking up the hill. This was being asked to me in the last couple of days, where people asked me, Yelita, what would you actually want to say to me right now? Just say it. And then I was sitting with myself, I was like, what do I actually want to say to people right now? And I wanted to ask them, are you happy? Because I knew that in this present moment I am, but I saw that I was actually not allowing myself to be happy. I was focused upon things that actually made me feel very sad and depressed energies and a lot of pain. I want to ask them, the people around me, to you, are you happy? Happiness is so important. It's that we follow our happiness. It is up to us. We have free will to hold a perspective and what to focus on and what to grow and everything. And I saw that I was actually not taking the effort or the responsibility to take responsibility of that I create my reality, of that I create a perspective about life. And we kind of get so caught up in this perspective, can really believe it, and then we come to beliefs, you know. We start to think that our beliefs are true, the truth, the reality of how it actually is. But everyone, as a wise wizard, once told me, perspectives are all different. Everyone holds different perspectives. We can all think something else. You will see it, because you know what you believe is what you will receive. If you think the world is beautiful, you will see the beauty in it. And of course, it's not the ignorance of, you know, I think life is amazing. So, you know, there are things, of course, that we can see that we're like, no, that's not the most great, you know, that's not the most happy thing. But it's more of that we are aware of these things, but not let take control over us, because then we let go of mind over matter. We actually allow matter to become, you know, the leader of our mind. But we are the one to use this tool in a way that's beneficial for us to, you know, live the best life, to make our dreams come true and all of that. And that's the story I want to tell, that I saw that I had to go through shit in my reality for weeks, months, all this energy to actually realize that I can create my reality. And I know this, you know, it's not something that's new to me. I already know this for like 2 years, but sometimes we allow life to, you know, we allow so much because it takes strength to actually step over these things that are not the most nice, are not the most, you know, we have to face it. And it takes courage, it takes strength to face your reality and be like, is this serving me? No. You have to go, you know. And then that's what I saw for myself. It's like, I have to take the initiative. I have to be the one to shift perspectives here. To add to this story, that in the moment of my dark night of the soul, I actually asked, I need help, I need guidance. Someone please help me. God help me. Source divine help me. Angels. I asked because that is my free will. And I received exactly that what I needed. And then I realized that I received people that brought me back to me, that sparked in me that light, that showed me kind of the way back to myself, because they were in their light, they were spreading the light, and that inspired me. I was like, that's exactly why I'm here to be here for people that really cannot point through that darkness they're in, as I had this too. And to be that light, to be that guiding light. And even in the midst of right now of me being in darkness, it was actually me going through a test to see if I can be that light, if I can shine, and if I can, you know, be there for others, to be a guide and to step into that role of actually showing up and, you know, to it's dark and we are the light. To actually show up, and even in my darkness right now, that I can actually make a video and share my message, because I know my message now, and I had to really trust that and to really step into that and really trust myself and really know my power, and to step into my power, as I right now created a new Instagram account where I will share my messages more, where I will really focus upon that serving, service focused guidance. And I'm not to say that I am a teacher. Am I, you know, I'm not higher than anybody. I'm not to be put on a pedestal, but I'm not in control if someone does that. But I'm just a guide on this world that people can tune in with. I always see it this way, that everyone holds a guidebook, and we meet people that hold a guidebook that we actually need in that moment for us to kind of go on our path and to maybe know how to figure something out or anything else matter. That's, you know, we don't have to do everything alone. But there are as well people on this planet that hold a guidebook that maybe is not for us, and is maybe not beneficial for us, but is beneficial for someone else. And that's what I personally feel too for myself. There are people that hear my message and they cannot do anything with this because it's not their guidance for this present moment. That's kind of what I am going to step into, to be that person that actually I needed, and to, you know, share the light that I hold, as that's what this whole channel is about. I started my first YouTube video with this: follow your inner light. That was the main message, you know, to follow that inner light. And I am here to follow my inner light, to maybe connect others back to their inner light, as they maybe don't hold just yet the awareness or the perspective of, you know, tuning in with that. Of course, I will keep my personal account, Yelita Light, on Instagram, and then the new account is called, we'll put it here, Light Guided, as that will be a place where I share messages, and it's kind of a place where you will be guided or not in divine timing. It's a place of divine timing, and you know, it's going to be so perfectly planted and put into people their reality if they need the guidance that I am sharing, that I'm holding, that I can give to the world, just to give, as I hold a lot of lights within myself, and so do you. And that is what I came to. That was the story I want to tell, that we are the one in charge. We are the one to shift perspective and to allow ourselves to step fully into that what is our happiness, what brings us back to us and makes us really enjoy life. And we go through very difficult stuff, as I cried so much yesterday. My eyes were totally swollen this morning, and that was totally meant for me to release a lot of pain that was still in my system, in my emotional body. And of course that's part of this journey, you know, to choose love is to break away from everything that is not love, that is not actually self-love, it's not love for you or for someone else. So that was the message I wanted to give today. If you like this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to share a message, if you feel like sharing just what you are learning right now in this present moment, your light, to share that in the comments, that would be amazing. To maybe be a light for someone else that comes to these comments and needs a message, and then your message is there for them, perfectly timed, divine timing. Can be in 2 years, you know, doesn't have to be tomorrow. And if you want to like, if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing, to come along on this journey with me. And I wish you all a beautiful, magical day today. Bye.